Alright guys, Fantasy Tuesday. I'm sure most of you are in your championship games or you're on your way there. I know I advanced to the semifinals, so congrats to me. Now let me try and help you get to yours. Alright, so let's start with quarterbacks. Number 1, Alex Smith against Oakland. Oakland's defense has been shredded apart. You saw what Geno Smith did. A touchdown and a rushing touchdown. You saw what Ryan Fitzpatrick, what Tony Romo. All quarterbacks are having good games. I mean, Alex Smith has kind of been on a roll. Last week was a little bit of a dud, but I expect him to get back to form this week. And then next, Matt Flynn going against Washington, or going against Dallas. You saw what Josh McCown did Monday night, I'm sure. Dallas's defense against Matt McGloin was okay, but I mean, other than that, they've been horrible all year. They give up a lot of points to quarterbacks, so Matt Flynn looks like a pretty good start. And then Matt Ryan going against Washington. Matt Ryan's kind of been laying an egg all year. He's a huge disappointment. But going against Washington's defense, where a lot of people have had success, especially with Roddy White back and contributing the past couple weeks. He has Roddy White, Harry Douglas, Tony G as his main weapons. I think that he can do very well. The next, running backs. Lamar Miller going against New England, and I usually stay away from Lamar Miller. He's been a fantasy killer in one of my other leagues. But New England's run defense is pretty awful. They allow a lot up the middle due to injuries, so I like Lamar Miller. The next, Andre Brown going against Seattle. It's a little bit of a surprise because you wouldn't normally start people against Seattle, but he's becoming a name for himself where you can start him. And on top of it, Seattle's run defense isn't that great when the game's close. I expect the Giants to have it close for a little bit. I expect them to lose, but I expect the game to be close enough to where Andre Brown can run the ball a little bit and get you some points. The next, Ben Tate versus Indy. Ben Tate, the past couple weeks has been a very well surprise. I think against Indy's run defense, he does well. The next, wide receivers, James Jones against Dallas. Again, bad defense. Matt Flynn did pretty well last week against Atlanta. They'll probably run the ball a lot, and then in the red zone, look for his big receivers. Next, Cecil Shorts against Buffalo. Again, another bad pass defense. Cecil Shorts didn't have the greatest game last week against Houston, but Houston's pass defense is still pretty good, so it's hard to really judge him on it. And then next, Dwayne Bowe against Oakland. Oakland's corners just can't cover. It looks like some of them are giving up, so Dwayne Bowe again with Alex Smith. And then next, tight ends, Tony Gonzalez going against Washington. Again, Roddy White is healthy, so it'll take some of the pressure off him. Next, Coby Fleener going against, going against Houston. Houston has had some problems with athletic tight ends. I think Coby Fleener is an athletic tight end that can make good grabs. And then next, Jared Cook going against New Orleans. I think they'll be stacking the box with 8, putting so much attention towards stopping Zach Stacy that some of the receivers will get open, and Jared Cook's good enough to get open as a tight end. The next, kickers. I like Jay Feely going against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is pretty good. It got tore up last week against Denver, but a lot of defenses do. I expect them to get some stops around the red zone and maybe some a little far away against Arizona. Justin Tucker going against Detroit. He almost lost me a game, so I really don't want to tell you guys to put him on. But they are going against Detroit. Detroit's defense is still pretty good. I expect them to be able to push the ball okay against them just because of penalties and stuff, and then kick the field goal. And then next, Matt Prater versus San Diego. If they don't kick field goals, you'll get a lot of extra points, but when they do kick field goals, it's usually really far, and this guy's been money from distance. Just last week made the 64-yarder. I'm sure a lot of people were happy if they started him. Next, defense, Arizona against Tennessee, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Should I say more? He's going to throw you a couple interceptions. And then next, Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati doesn't normally play well against Pittsburgh. Andy Dalton hasn't had a great career against Pittsburgh, so I trust Pittsburgh's defense. And then Baltimore versus Detroit. Even if Detroit puts up a lot of points, you still have Baltimore getting a lot of turnovers because that's what Detroit does. They're undisciplined. They throw interceptions and they fumble the ball. So Fantasy Tuesday is over, guys. Keep watching, subscribe, tell people, get the word out. You know what I'm going to say. Make me famous. Love you guys.